You are not bad with money. I need you to hear that before anything else, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through 5 things you are probably paying for right now that are, frankly, robbing you a little bit. Not with a gun, with an app or a car dealership or a subscription you forgot existed. And the average person is losing close to $1,800 a year to expenses they don't even consciously think about. Not big purchases, small ones, recurring ones, the kind that hide. By the end of this, you're going to understand exactly why you can be working hard, technically doing everything right, and still checking your banking app right before bed, hoping the number looks different than it did this morning. It doesn't, and that's not on you. Here's what nobody tells you when you start making real money for the first time. It's not that you're careless, it's that almost everything in 2026 is built on purpose to take small amounts of money from you over and over, quietly enough that you never feel it happen. $8 here, $14 there. None of it feels like a big deal in the moment. But stack it up over a month, and it's the entire gap between I'm finally getting ahead and why is my account at $40 again? This is part 1 of 2. Today we're covering the first 5. Next week, 5 more. Let's get into it. Item 1, buy now, pay later. Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm. Whatever app popped up at checkout offering you 4 easy payments of $25. Here's the actual problem. Splitting a price into 4 payments doesn't change what you're spending. It changes how your brain feels about what you're spending. $100 feels heavy. $25 feels like nothing. So people don't just use these apps to afford things they need. They use them to buy more stuff than they would have bought otherwise, because every purchase feels smaller than it actually is. And if a payment is even 1 day late, you're often looking at fees, or in some cases, interest that quietly lands in the same territory as a credit card. Stack 3 or 4 of these plans at once across different apps, and you've basically built yourself a second invisible credit card, except this one doesn't show up on one clean statement. It's scattered. The fix isn't complicated. If you can't pay the full price today, you can't afford it today. Save the $25 a week instead and pay cash when you actually have it. Item 2, minimum payments. Only paying the minimum on your credit card. It feels responsible. You're handling it. But most credit cards in 2026 are sitting around 24 to 28% interest. Let's say you owe $3,000 and you only ever pay the minimum, somewhere around $90 a month. At that pace, it can take you close to a decade to pay it off. And by the time you're done, you may have paid back more in interest than the original $3,000 you spent. You basically bought the same stuff twice. This one isn't about willpower. It's about math. Pay more than the minimum whenever you can. Attack the highest interest card first, and if your credit allows it, a 0% intro balance transfer can buy you real breathing room. Item 3, new car loans. Stretching a new car loan out to 7 or 8 years so. The monthly payment looks smaller. The average new car in 2026 runs close to $50,000. To keep the payment from looking terrifying, a lot of dealerships now push 72 to 84-month loans. Simple math. Finance $45,000 for 72 months around 7% interest. And you're paying close to $10,000 just in interest on a car that's losing value the entire time you're paying for it. For the first couple years, you can actually owe more than the car is worth. Here's the part that stings a little more. Take that same monthly payment and say $700 and put it into a basic S&P 500 index fund instead for 30 years. At historical S&P 500 averages, that difference compounds to somewhere between $700,000 and $1.2 million over 30 years. Same income, just a different choice about one monthly payment. A used, reliable car, 3 to 5 years old, bought mostly or fully in cash, does the same job for a fraction of the damage. Item 4, the starter home. Lie. And honestly, this is the one that gets people the most heated in comment sections everywhere. Starter homes. Starter home used to mean the small, no-frills place you buy first before you upgrade later. These days, in cities like San Francisco, Seattle, parts of LA, Denver, Austin, a basic 3-bedroom starter home is listed at $700,000, $800,000, sometimes crossing 7 figures. A starter home, the easy first step. Say that sentence out loud and tell me it Doesn't sound insane. Here's the number that actually matters. With a normal 20% down payment and mortgage rates sitting around 6.5 to 7%, that exact same house can cost you 30 to 40% more a month than just renting the identical place down the street. That's not a vibe. That's the math in most major metros right now. I'm not telling you to never buy a house. Owning a place you can genuinely afford, somewhere you're planting roots long term, is still a solid move. What I am saying is, if the math doesn't work for you right now, that doesn't mean you're failing at being an adult. It means the math genuinely doesn't work for a lot of people in a lot of cities in 2026. Don't let a marketing term like starter home guilt you into a payment that swallows half your paycheck. Item 5, forgotten subscriptions. Subscriptions you forgot you're even paying for. Streaming services, a fitness app, a delivery pass, a subscription box you signed up for once. Each one looks tiny. $8, $12, $15 a month. Nobody budgets for subscriptions as a real category, so it never feels like real money. Then people actually go through their bank statement and realize they're paying $130 or $140 a month across 9 different things they barely use. Once a quarter, actually scroll through your bank statement line by line, cancel whatever you can't specifically remember using in the last 30 days. None of these 5 things will wreck you on their own. That's exactly why they work. They're all small enough to ignore and just big enough, stacked together, to keep you stuck at zero every single month. No matter how hard you're working, if even one of those hit a little too close, stay tuned, because part 2 is coming with 5 more, including one that literally every personal finance influencer tells you to spend money on. And the math says otherwise, you're not going to see that one coming. I post a new video every week on stuff exactly like this, so subscribing means you won't miss it. And I'd genuinely like to know, in the comments, which one of these 5 did you catch yourself doing? Let's talk about it down there.